Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BizTools and ESS Small Business. Welcome to this webinar today, when we're going to feature benchmarking. And our key presenter this afternoon is Vince Keogh from benchmarking.com. How are you, Vince?
Very well. How you going, Peter?
Very good. So shortly, Vince will give you an overview of benchmarking. And some of the things he's going to be talking today are how benchmarking can assist businesses to get a clearer understanding of your performance. No one really tells you this in the marketplace. Most accountants don't really have enough information to be able to give you a comparison. So using a external benchmarking organization is really the only way where you can see how you're comparing to your peers. And that's very important in your business relationships. By undertaking benchmarking, it will improve your business performance. It'll enable you to set some targets. It'll enable you to have some real conversations with your team as to why their performance is less than what the benchmark is saying. So we believe benchmarking is very important for small business, and that's why we've invited Vince Keogh, Head of Product at benchmarking.com.au, to talk to you today. And within the ESS Small Business site, there are special offers that have been made, and I will show you those towards the end of this webinar today so that you can avail yourself of the excellent product that benchmarking.com has produced. So without any further ado, we're going to switch across to Vince to make his presentation. So Vince, I've now made you the presenter, and you should be able to go from there.
Fantastic. All right. You can see my screen okay there, and I'm just moving the mouse around?
You're on there now, and
perfect. All right. So as Peter said, thank you for the introduction. What I'll do today is just give you all a quick run through of the Benchmark Suite platform. So for small business owners, I'm just on our homepage here, and basically what you can do is you can go through and purchase our benchmarking content via our website here. And what you can do is you can just purchase a single report. If I click on that link there and just scroll down, you can actually see we've just got a great big list of all the industries that we actually provide benchmarks on. And so you can scroll through this list. You can filter it down if you want to look for a key item there, and basically purchase the industry that you would like to have a look at. And so in terms of our reports and our overall benchmark offering, basically once you make that purchase, you'll be sent an industry report, which will be sent through immediately to your email address as a PDF and also a Word document. And so you'll be able to go through and have a look at that report. And I'll show you that report in just a moment. But one of the other things that we offer as well is you'll actually have the ability to log into the online application and go through and enter in your financial and personnel information to then compare directly against our benchmark sample, and we'll also provide you with some custom feedback, and that all comes from the online application that I'll walk you all through today. So yeah, they're the items that we'll cover off in today's meeting. You can access this content via our website, www.benchmarking.com.au, but no doubt Peter will provide you with some additional links at the end of my discussions. So I'll just click back, and what we'll do is we'll actually go to the online area of the application, and I'll just walk you all through through the platform. So I'll just click login, and I've got a little test account here that we'll go into the application with. So when you first log in, your dashboard will actually appear with nothing on it, and if you've just purchased one industry, you'll actually go straight into a number of prompts that will allow you to start entering in data into the application. So before I jump into that process, what I'll quickly do is just show you a copy of one of the industry reports. So when you log into the application, you won't actually have this this section available to you, but I'll just give you a quick look now at what the industry report will look like. So I'll just download this PDF here, and that'll come down in just a moment. Sorry about that. I think the sometimes I have some conflicts with the GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar platform in our application. So I'll just click that again. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not bringing that up. I'll go and grab it out of one of our folders. Just a moment. So yeah, I'll grab that. I'll grab that report a little bit later in the webinar. Sorry about that. So what we'll do is, I think it's just the actual security profile that I've got on here, because I was logging in as just a single industry report, and that combined with the GoToMeeting platform. So what we'll do is we'll jump straight into this pharmacy record. So the process, if you're setting up a new industry, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, you'll be locked down to one industry, and that's the industry that you purchased via our website. So here, if we're looking at a pharmacy, you'll just be locked down to the pharmacy industry. All you'll need to do is select the financial year that you'd like to download, and then you can enter in your contact details if you want, and continue on to this data entry page that we're seeing here. So within the data entry page, if we scroll down this list here, it's broken down into three main sections. We've got the business details, which looks at location, personnel, and also some owners information and some other details here. And continuing on down the page, we've got some profit and loss information, just looking at income, cost of goods sold, and also the overheads there. And then we've got the balance sheet as well, just the assets and liabilities. So you might have noticed as I was scrolling down this page, we do, obviously you've got the ability to manually enter data in here, but you can also run an import very quickly as well. So if you're, let's say for example, using an accounting system, I might actually just create a new questionnaire so I don't remove that content. But basically, if you've got if you're using any accounting platform, you'll be able to export to Excel, and from there, once you've exported to Excel, you can basically just go and run the import via our platform. So we'll just do that now. Here I've just got a blank questionnaire that I'll be able to override. So once I click on that import button, two options will appear. You can actually connect to Xero if you are using Xero accounting software. Otherwise, you can just import from Excel or CSV. So every accounting platform will be able to export your data, your profit and loss and balance sheet data, to Excel, and that's why we've opted for that import method, as it's quite universal. And so basically, once you click copy from Excel, you can then just open up your profit and loss sheet, and you can highlight from anywhere on the page here. And what you want to do is just scroll down the page and then hit copy and then paste, label, and then data. So you just need to select which column relates to the labels and then which column relates to the data that you're importing. And so then you can just click next. And what will happen is, if the system has a map stored already for your account, so if you've done this in previous years, it will actually just go and automatically assign that data, as you can see here. So it makes the process really nice and quick, and it'll actually just pull that data in if you have created a map in the past. If you haven't, items will just be on the right here, and you'll be able to assign them. So you can literally just click on any of these items that aren't grayed out and just drag and drop them into the questionnaire, and that will then update for you. And so this is basically how we're bringing data into the application by the import process. If you've made a mistake, you can actually just click on the X there and it'll pull that item out of the cell. If you would like to drag a couple of items to the same cell, you can do that, and it'll just add them up for you. And if you want to see what's related over on the right, you can actually just click any of these items to see what the related cell is. So that's a quick look at the import tool there. I'll hit submit on that, and that'll actually bring the data into the application. So if we just scroll down a bit here now, you can see that we've actually imported some of this data. And if we click through to the benchmark page, within the benchmark page, you'll see that data is now flowing through here. So what we can do then is, I'll go back to the original record that we were looking at for financial year 2015, and we'll actually have a look at a bit more of this data and the remainder of the application. So I'll just click into pharmacy demo again, and I'm in financial year 2015. So clicking back to the benchmark page, if we look up the top of the screen here, we've got a number of selectors. So on the left-hand column here, your data is actually being displayed. So all the numbers that you've entered in within the data entry will flow through and be calculated into benchmarks in this first column. In the remaining columns, you can just go and select the years that you would actually like to compare against. So if you've entered multiple years for your company, you can actually see how you've performed over time. Otherwise, if you want to start looking at some of the benchmarks, you can of course do that as well. So here we have the all firms average, which just looks at the average of all of the businesses in our sample. But you can also go and look at different breakdowns by turnover or net profit, for example, or perhaps even location. So here we might just drop in the closest matching turnover benchmark. Might go slightly higher. Excuse me. So we've dropped in some benchmarks, and once we're doing that, the numbers will actually flow through all the way down the page. So we're looking at income, expenses, and then we're also looking at some different profitability measures, so net profit per principal and also per principal work hour. And this little BPS here, this is before principal's salary, or before owner's salary. So that is actually removed from a lot of our analysis, just to try and put everyone on a level playing field, as we are well aware that owners or directors of businesses will take out different amounts. So we try to, I guess, put everyone on that even keel by removing that from a lot of our analysis. So continuing on, we've just got some productivity measures, looking at the performance of the space, for example, square metre, total pharmacy gross profit per square metre, for example. And then we also have personnel numbers. And then finally at the bottom here, we've just got quite a number of different financial ratios. So here we're obviously looking at a pharmacy industry, but I will point out that our questionnaire and also our benchmark page, they are actually industry specific, so they will change based on the industry that you're working in. So here within pharmacies, we're obviously looking at the dispensary sales per script and other items around sales area and the likes. If we were looking at a builder, the metrics will be quite different. So I'll just click next, and we'll continue on to the feedback tab now. So within this feedback tab, what we do is we actually create a little target, and so just depending on how your business has performed, whether it's below, in line with, or above the target, you'll receive the relevant feedback comment and also traffic light indicator on the right here. And all of this can actually be printed through to Word. So if you want to, or PDF. So if you want to go and have a look at this offline, you can. Or even if you want to go and say, for example, print to Excel and look at some of these numbers in Excel, you can do that as well. But basically, this will give you some different feedback on each of these metrics, and also inform you as to what you might need to look out for, or perhaps go and look at. So it can be quite handy for a business owner if you're receiving some maybe negative results in a certain area, how to actually go and improve it, or what you need to look at. So then we have some graphs. Obviously, I said you can actually print to Excel and go and create your own graphs, but here we just have some standard graphs, and they're loosely based around that feedback page. And you'll note that in each of these graphs we have 4 columns, and they're just the selections that we made within the benchmark page. So you can see here that your business 2015 is in the first column, and then the all firms average, which we selected in that second column, and so on. So that's a quick look at the graphs page. Clicking through to the ATO. This page is something that we've implemented fairly recently, and basically it will slot your result, as you can see here, your firm, $2.43 million turnover. It'll slot your turnover into the relevant column and then give you a quick too high pass or too low result against each of the ATO's benchmarks. So this is obviously quite important, just in case you you want to make sure you're obviously in line with the ATO's benchmarks. Otherwise, you might be receiving a little audit letter in the post. So, really handy little page here, and that's all automated if you've completed that data entry page at the start. So clicking onto the action page, this is just a long list basically of how you can improve different areas of your business. So we're looking at increasing sales or perhaps improving your gross profit. So it's a bit of a flow on from the feedback section, in that if you found a certain area was maybe lagging or you wanted to improve within that feedback area, you might be able to come in here and look at some of the strategies that we actually have in order to improve the various items there. So then we have the stats. So we actually pull within the benchmark page and the feedback, also the graphs. That's all our own benchmarking.com.au data that comes from businesses across Australia. The ATO data is coming from the Australian Taxation Office, but we also pull some statistical data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, just looking at the size of the sector and also the industry that you're involved in across Australia. And we also look at some employment data as well, just a breakdown of gender, weekly hours worked, and also some average wages as well. So some additional information there. I'll click through to the last tab now, which is the ratio definitions. Pretty straightforward, just showing you the different calculations that we're looking at, basically what's going on behind the scenes there. So if you have, I guess, an item that you might want to review or perhaps understand what's involved in a particular benchmark ratio, you can just come through here and look at the different definitions and understand what's going into that calculation. So the two tabs that I jumped over here, the valuation questionnaire and the business value page. So these two tabs allow you to complete a quick desktop valuation. So a number of business owners actually use this page. A lot of our clients actually use it as well to basically run a quick valuation of their business if they are selling their business or perhaps plan to sell their business in the future. It can be a really great way to understand what the potential is for the sale of your business, whereas some people will really struggle to understand what a fair market value might be for their business. So this can be one way to really put it in perspective, and especially if you're involved or perhaps trying to plan for retirement, for example, to understand the position that you might be in if you were to sell. So within this valuation questionnaire, it's completely separate questionnaire to that first data entry page, and my apologies, we're experiencing a fire drill. So within the profit and loss here, we have a number of items that we're asking for, and it's across 3 financial years. So you can enter in up to 3 financial years. You don't have to enter in all 3 years, but it's better to enter more data in than less. And I do apologise if you can't hear me. The fire drill is just going off. But yeah, so we just asked for total sales, net profit before tax, and then we start to ask for some profit adjustments. So if you're not sure about any of this, just hover over the different little question mark indicators here, and they'll actually explain what you need to be entering into each of these cells. So profit adjustments just basically normalize the business. So again, coming back to principal's salary and then principal's notional salary. So say for example you're paying yourself way above what the market rate is, or perhaps much less than what the market rate is. You can actually just insert that here, and then insert what should or what is expected to be paid as a normal notional salary for that industry that you're involved in. So that what this does is normalize the business. And so scrolling down a bit further, you can then select a weighting. Usually the most current financial year has the greatest multiple, as it's the most recent results and obviously the truest reflection of the business's current operations. But if, say for example, there was an abnormality for that particular year, you can actually set that as a lower multiple. But again, just hover over the question marks here to understand how to fill out this form. Then we just ask for 2 balance sheet items, and all of this will flow through to the biz value page. So here you just have to basically assume a reasonable person is purchasing your business. So you just apply, what could be expected in terms of a payback period, a normal tax rate, and also a cost of funds for a business like the one you're involved in if someone were to borrow money to try and purchase. And with these items entered, it will flow through to provide a business valuation at the bottom there. So all of this information that you're entering will provide you with that quick desktop valuation, and the system just runs via all the data that you've entered. If you change some of the metrics here, say for example the payback period, it will increase the risk, and so therefore it will increase the capitalization rate and also the value that the person might pay there. So you can play around with all these different metrics to basically get the result that you're trying to get with your business valuation there. So that's pretty much all the different tabs that I wanted to cover off. I'll click print now just to give you a quick look. Also, we do offer a free data review service, so as you're entering this data in, if you're not sure, go through and complete as much as you can, then press the data review button, and one of our analysts will come back to you with a quick email or a phone call just to discuss any possible errors within your data entry there and how to go about fixing them up. And so I'll hit print now, and so we've got a number of formats that you can print to: PDF, Word, OpenOffice, and also Excel. So I'll just click this one to PDF. And then you can actually select the different parts or the different tabs that we've just worked through. You can just select whether or not you'd like to include them in the report. So if, say for example, we wanted to make the report a little bit shorter and remove some of these questionnaires, we could do that, and then just hit submit, and that will print out the report. So I'm just using Google Chrome today. We highly recommend that you use either Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Internet Explorer is quite a troublesome browser and no longer supported unless it's in the latest Windows 10 versions, but I think they've actually gone away from titling that Internet Explorer. Yeah, but if you just lean towards Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, that would be your best bet. Within Google Chrome, the document will just pop up in the bottom corner here, and you can just open that up and start to scroll through. You can obviously save that down to your computer or print off a copy. And so as we scroll down the page here, you can see that we've got the table of contents and then the industry statistics. So this is the ABS data that I referred to earlier. And so within this report that we're looking at here, the main two differences against the industry report, the straight off the shelf report, is just that your data will actually appear in this report. Versus the industry report, it won't actually appear at all. It'll just have the general benchmark data that we provide. So here you're actually getting your results in the first column and the remaining columns that you've actually hand-picked. Whereas the industry report that you get as soon as you purchase the benchmarks, they'll and will be emailed through to you. They'll just have more generic items over on the right here. So it might just be all firms average, net profit low, net profit high, for example. So then we've got the KPI feedback. So again, that's just those custom text feedbacks and also the traffic light indicators there. So pretty handy little page, that one. In the industry report, it's just an image that fades out, so that's your it's basically referring you to go to that main area of the application and complete this report that we're looking at now. So then we have the graphs, pretty straightforward there. And continuing on, we've got the ATO benchmark page. So again, we've just kept in some of that flow text so you can understand what we're looking at there in terms of the industry. And then of course the results there. And then we have the action list. Pretty straightforward. Just looking at quite a number of items there that you can zoom in on. And then we have the business valuation. And then to round out the document, we've got the ratio definitions. And finally, attached at the end as an appendix, we have all of the benchmarks for that particular industry. So if you generated this report and you're at the end, you'll see all the different offerings that we have for that particular industry. So this is pharmacies, and these are all the breakdowns that we have by turnover. You can see just going from high to low in turnover and different brackets there. Then we have net profit per owner, going from low to high once again. And then we also have some other breakdowns as well, looking at location here, and also some trading hour breakdowns as well. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover off in the report there. I'll just close that down and come back to square one. So some of the, I guess, more user items that I will point out, if you log out of the application and log back in, all your data will be saved as you're working through that questionnaire. So if we go and plug in an item or two and then you want to leave and return back to it, you will be able to. That's no problem at all. And so when you log back in, you'll just need to see your record on the dashboard, click open it up, and then just click on the financial year that you'd like to open, and away you go. You can continue on completing that questionnaire there. So that's everything that I wanted to cover off in the webinar today. The industry report itself, again, if you go to www.benchmarking.com.au and click through to the business owners section and then just scroll down, you'll find all the links there, and as you're purchasing that will just immediately send through the industry report to you as a PDF, and you'll also be able to nominate your login details that will allow you to go through and access the benchmarking application as we've just done. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send them through to us at inquiries@benchmarking.com.au, or give us a call on 029262 5564. Otherwise, thanks so much for having me, Peter. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Vince. I'll just transfer the screen back to me. And thanks very much, Vince. That was very interesting, and I can assure small business operators that if you can utilise this sort of reporting, you will have a far better understanding of how your business is performing. And as Vince indicated, there's benchmarks available for over 120 industries. I was very impressed with the interfacing with the ATO benchmarks. I think this is an important area for most of you small businesses to be thinking about. The ATO are doing their own calculations, and it's great that benchmarking.com is showing you how you might line up against their figures. We have negotiated with benchmarking.com a great deal for ESS small business visitors. You can subscribe to this outstanding product for $440, including GST, as compared to the normal price that you just saw on Vince's slides of $575. Now, to access this, you need to log on to esssmallbusiness.com.au and then click on to Business Partners, which is on the left-hand side on the home page, and then you will see the logo within our business partners for benchmarking.com. If you log on there, that will take you through to a summary page which summarizes the special offer from benchmarking.com, and you can then click on direct to the benchmarking.com.au website. Upcoming webinars, you can see them on the screen. The next slot is next week, Thursday the 15th of October, on leadership, presented by Peter McDougall from Leadership Academy. Monday the 19th, Improving Debtors Management by Damien Arena from IODM. And Tuesday the 20th of October, Loans for SMEs. The presenter is Robert Foster, who's a mortgage consultant with Home Loans. So that's about it for today. Just remember that ESS Small Business website contains a wide range of free articles, and some articles that you have to pay for, and others where you can get special introductory discounts with suppliers like benchmarking.com. And obviously that's our website. So Vince, thank you very much for presenting this webinar today. And
yeah, thanks again, Peter.
Thank you, and goodbye to our viewers whenever you get round to looking at this webinar. And we look forward to you availing yourself of the services that benchmarking.com.au has available for you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.